Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Pulse USA in Morristown. Today, we have a special guest. Mike Griot is a veteran bassist from Orange, New Jersey. With decades of experience performing, he's now a founding member of the Blues People, a modern blues band making waves with their blend of blues, funk, jazz, and soul. Mike, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Bruce.
Anytime. I'm really excited to talk on this topic because I really enjoy listening to blues, as do many people, but I'm not so sure about the young people today. I'm hoping that they fall into play as well. But for those of you who don't know you yet, you know, they don't know who you are or anything about blues, can you introduce yourself and tell us how Blues People came together?
Well, you know, I actually, as a professional, I came to the blues sort of late in my career. I had toured around the world doing a lot of different types of music. I'm a classical cellist in terms of by trade, so that's why I became literate in music. But then years later, after I became a professional, I got a call in the early 90s about a new artist, and her name was Deborah Coleman, and I had never heard from her. She was from Virginia, and that first tour with her is really what helped to open my eyes to blues as a worldwide genre. And then that was further sort of solidified by my tenure with Michael Hill's Blues Mob, who was on Alligator Records. Once I found blues or blues found me, I was hooked. And after doing a lot of blues tours around the world and working with a German blues record label, I actually, on a break from touring, I created a blues festival and a series of festivals. And so I'm pretty immersed in the scene over the last 25 years. And then COVID hit, and myself and all of my colleagues were out of work and, looking for things to do. So I decided to put together a band that kind of was comprised of all of these sort of A-league hired guns from around the world. And we wrote and we recorded, and when the scene came back, we were ready to sort of release our debut. And so we did that in 2024.
So now you mentioned you played the cello prior, okay? What instrument do you play now in the blues?
So I'm a bass player, or as I kid with my musician friends, I would only hire myself playing bass. I wouldn't hire myself playing the other instruments I play. But I would hire myself as a bass player.
Okay. And did that take you? Now, did you always play the bass, or was it easy to pick up because of the cello?
Yeah, I basically when I was a kid, and I'm talking about between the ages of 8 and 12, I was already seventh chair All-State in Northern New Jersey on cello. But the problem was none of the little girls would look at me. And I loved radio music, and I was like, what can I do to be in a band? I just want to be in a band. And so I essentially just kind of took my bass literacy and transferred it over. I took my cello literacy and transferred it over to bass. Yeah.
That is terrific. That's a great story right there. So as a New Jersey native, okay, have you ever been to the Morristown Jazz and Blues Festival before?
As a matter of fact, I went for the first time last year with my good friend and founder, Don J. Smith, and had a chance to check out Joanne Shaw Taylor and a couple other great acts. And it was actually then that Don backstage had asked me to sort of what I considered doing the following year. And of course I said yes.
So what does it mean to you now to be part of the lineup?
You know, it's funny because festivals are great environments, especially when they're free. And having done a few of them and produced many of them, I love the environment. I love the family nature of festivals. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's only 30 minutes from home, so that's even better.
You're absolutely right. So what can the crowd expect from your set this year?
People who are new to Blues People as a band are going to notice right away we have a really, really deep respect for the tradition, the African American tradition of the blues and the pioneers of the music. So we'll cover a lot of bases. We do a lot of traditional blues, the Howlin' Wolves and the Albert Kings and Albert, and the Three Kings in general, even some more obscure blues, traditional blues numbers. But then we also come all the way to funk and R&B feelings and soul feelings in the music. So it's sort of like, think of the blues as a crayon box, and we hope we have every color in the box. That's
really good. Any music for the late great, one of my favorites, B.B. King?
Absolutely. Even though I will say it will probably not be. Oh, not probably. It won't be The Thrill Is Gone. That's all I'll tell you. but we do a very, very deep B.B. King tune.
Awesome. I'm going to be looking forward to it because I'm going to be there. Okay.
Excellent.
Any songs or moments you're especially excited about?
Funny enough, and I think this comes from both my experience playing festivals and producing festivals, I really am looking forward to our time slot. Because in my experience, regardless of who the headliner is, there's a sweet spot with audiences who come to these types of events. And usually, if the headliner is going on 6, 7 o'clock at night, it assumes that everyone will stay. I have found that even if they like you, not necessarily true. The sweet spot at most festivals is 4 to 5:30 or 4 to 6. And so I'm very much looking forward to the fact that we're actually playing at 4 o'clock. So everybody who's going to be there is already there.
That's great. And if someone's never listened or really listened to the blues jazz before, what would you tell them about this music and what it's like getting to hear it live?
Well, one of the things I strongly believe in and reinforce is that the blues was and is primarily a vocal tradition. Yes, there are a lot of guitar players who are great guitar players, and yes, there are a lot of different takes on the music from different groups and different factions in the music. But at the end of the day, I prefer to think of the vocal tradition as being vital to what happens next. So, if you're conveying a blues idea, you're basically telling a story. And the blues, like country music, is all about storytelling.
Absolutely. No, very good point. Very good point. What do you hope someone new to blues walks away feeling after hearing Blues People live on August 16th?
Well, I to quote some of our fans, where the heck have I been all this time, and why am I just discovering this now? So that's kind of the reaction that we get all the time. There are a lot of assumptions about what blues music is, and like with most art, if you're consuming only a small part of it, you may not have the proper frame of reference. But in our case, once you see us play and the way we interpret the music, in 99% of the cases, we develop loyal fans and followers, primarily because there's an emotional connection, and it is definitely an emotional connection.
I agree. And for young musicians in Morristown, watching your story, what's one lesson or piece of advice you could share from your journey to them?
Don't work for money.
It's a labor of love, right?
Well, and I don't mean that in a discouraging way, because there's most certainly are economies that are available to young people in this music, but it doesn't come through the pursuit of money. It comes through the pursuit of authenticity, caring about your craft, and really trying to aspire to a level of uniqueness and excellence in whatever you call your art. So I was one of those kids. I couldn't get enough of music, and I immersed myself in it as if my life depended on it. And what do you know? It did.
Wow. Oh, what a story. Well, Mike, I can't thank you enough. And Mike, if someone wants to get in touch with you, or but more importantly, how do they follow the Blues People? Okay, tell us how they get in touch with you and follow you on social media, and so that you can generate some awareness.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. We are at bluespeoplenj.com. Blues People, like in New Jersey, bluespeoplenj.com. And if you click that link and go to the navigation bar, and those of you over a certain age, you can get your grandkids to help you with this. But if you go to the navigation bar in the corner, it will guide you to everything about us. Not only our upcoming gig and schedule, but concert videos, bios, and just anything you could possibly want, including contact information. So I encourage everyone, before you come to the festival, go to bluespeoplenj.com, get familiar with us, and listen to some videos, and then come up and say hello.
Mike, thank you so much. Again, it was a pleasure having you here. Great information and insight on the Blues People, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on August 16th, okay? With the entire with everybody else that shows up there, but more importantly, I'm looking for you, all right?
Hey, I'm looking for you too, and we're going to hang out.
Absolutely, 100%. Have a great evening. Take care.
Thanks, Bruce. All right.